In this world of technology, things are ever changing, rearranging. You need someone to help you out. I know someone who can. Come and take a journey with me as we go through the land of technology. You'll never be alone. You'll be with Paul Amadeus Lane in the tech zone. Welcome to the tech zone. We on our tech flow, and there's still a global market in case you didn't know. So many guests, we not trying to impress. Just wanna pass on the info. You can do the rest. See, there's no escaping tech. It's part of our lives. Keep every individual connected worldwide. But all this innovation is more than entertainment. It's people like you paving a new way every day. So let your imagination run wild with all the things that you dream about. Cause the tech zone is on now with Paul Amadeus Lane. Come and take a journey with me as we go through the land of technology. You'll never be alone. You'll be with Paul Amadeus Lane in the tech zone.
Last segment of our coverage here at CES today, here live on Wednesday. I'm Paul Amadeus Lane from our broadcast booth in the North Tower. If you are, let's say, attending CES and you're a member of the industry or the media, come on down to our broadcast booth. We'd love to meet you. We'd love to take some pictures. And I'm just saying, if you want us to do a product review, especially of an autonomous car, I think we're all down with that. And if you make a mean margarita, Ray Lane would like one. Yes, she will. Cadillac. Yeah. She don't like it blended, though. All right. Autonomous vehicles is something that is really a buzz here at CES 2019. You saw our footage yesterday being at the BMW booth. We saw the riderless motorcycle and how that is like freaking everybody out on social media and also our coverage. But there is something else embedded into that technology that makes it go and makes it work. And that's a camera, a 3D camera. My next guest is going to talk about what his company is doing when it comes to innovation and how not only are autonomous vehicles using their innovation, but other industries as well. And joining me right now is another great piece of innovation that we have here on the floor here at CES 2019 as we're here broadcasting live. We have Jason Bauer from Orbic, Marketing Director. Jason, what's going on, my man? How are you?
Oh, I'm great today. Thanks for having me on. We're really excited to be here at CES. This is our 5th year, and our company's only 5 years old, so we've been here every year.
That's cool. So Jason, when you come to CES, what is your main objective you would like the attendees to take away from, and you as a company, what you guys are trying to accomplish here?
Well, it's a little bit of, we're a different kind of company. We're not the direct-to-consumer product you see all over the place. Our product goes inside a lot of those direct-to-consumer products, and so this is really a great avenue for us to meet these other companies and developers that would like to use our 3D sensors in the next future robot or autonomous vehicle, something in the future.
And that's one thing we're noticing here. Buzzwords, you know, when it comes to CES, there's always either AI, 5G, and everything, but we're looking at autonomous vehicles and everything. So when it comes to the technology and where we have it today, where we have like partial assist and things like that, how far are we from having full autonomous vehicles level 5 out there? What do you think?
Oh, that's a question you get all the time. I mean, everybody wants the car to drive tomorrow. It's going to be a few years still, let's be honest. I think it's going to come in stages. Our sensor is really designed for either the internal use of a vehicle or our next sensor, the Stereo S, that's actually with me today that we're launching, could be used on the exterior of a vehicle. The problem with a lot of these sensors and 3D cameras are they're so expensive. The price point still needs to come down. I think when they first brought out LiDAR, it cost $10,000 per camera, and you needed 4 cameras on a car, so $40,000 for just the cameras back in the day. It's cheaper now, but that was a few years ago.
So Jason, when we look at what your company is doing, and for ones listening out there, who may not understand what a 3D sensor does and things like that.
Yeah.
Can you give us a tech lesson here for ones out there who's not as smart as me and you? No, I'm just joking.
No, that's a great question. No, everybody gives us that question because, like I said, we sell to the businesses mostly. So we're a 3D camera, the Orbic 3D sensor, we call it. It's designed for depth sensing. So it's got 3 cameras in front of it. 2 of them are used for depth. Just like your eyes, we call it human binocular vision. You use 2 of those to be able to tell how far something it is, and it gives you extremely accurate measurements from telling how far you are from where I am right now. Also, the 3rd one we use is just a regular camera, just so you can add the color and other things in there. Otherwise, it would just be a depth map.
Now, Jason, was tech your first love as far as industry is concerned, or it was something that you saw and say, hey, I need to get into some tech trends right now because it's where it's at? I mean, everything is technologically based now.
Oh, I've always liked tech. Oh, I was a Trekkie when I was younger. I still am, I guess. So, I mean, everyone around here, you have to love it a little bit. And everybody wants that next big thing, and so that's what we're really focused on. We in our booth today at CES over in the South Hall area, we have the next level robotic picking arm that you're really going to see warehouses across the country where they use our 3D camera to pick stuff off the shelf, put it in bins, ship it, mail it, with very little human interaction, which is really neat.
You bring up a very good point, and I remember, and I'm gonna go back to you being a Trekkie too, because I'm a Trekkie too. So we're gonna talk about that in the tail end of the conversation. But I remember having a conversation at the Black Enterprise Tech Connect Summit a few years ago, and it was a robotic manager from Ford, and he said one of the criticisms out there about robotics is that how it may take jobs away. And he was talking to a bunch of students, but this is what he told the students. He said, "You get the jobs that program the robotics. Think about doing things like that. Quit thinking about 19th and 20th century labor, but what you want to do is think about 21st century when it comes to tech and everything. Learn all these different things because you're always going to need people who are going to program them."
That's so true. In fact, that question comes up more than any other whenever someone comes to our booth. Is this taking jobs? And honestly, it's in a lot of new warehouses. I know there's some in New York and a few other states. And I've heard from the owners, they don't get rid of any people. They just use them more efficiently. They take that mundane task of, say, taking something off a shelf and putting it in there, and they give them to selling their products, expanding their brand, building their global footprint. It's just a tool like we use, just like a computer. It's just a little smarter. Yeah, AI is going to be in everything in the next 2 years.
Yeah, and that's very innovative out there what your company is doing to help meet these challenges, to meet these goals and things like that. So, you mentioned being a Trekkie. You're a Trekkie, I'm a Trekkie, she's maybe a Trekkie. Would you like to be a Trekkie too? So let's talk Trekkiness. All right.
Happy to.
Out of all the Trek series, what's your favorite that was on television?
Oh, it's impossible. I think I'd have to go with... They're different ones. I either like Deep Space Nine or Voyager. Those 2 are my favorite. And they for different reasons. The Voyager is like that long journey that you go after. In Deep Space Nine, it's like that battle of civilizations. And so I love them both. Those are my 2 favorite.
You know what? I'm with you on that because my favorite happened to be Deep Space Nine. Yeah. And it wasn't because of Hawk, Cisco, from Spencer for Hire. It wasn't because of him or because of a black captain. No. It was because, I really liked the storyline of the Prophets, Bajoran civilization, the Dominion when they brought that in. And the reason why I bring that up, too, is because the new series Discovery that's now on CBS All Access.
Yes.
I kind of got a love for Michael Burnham, the captain. The commander, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah.
But what they've done, they even spun off a Picard series that's going to now...
I didn't hear that. That's the first. That's awesome.
Look at Jean-Luc when he was younger. Yeah. So I'm thinking, hopefully, that they have a series of what happened on the last episode of Deep Space Nine when Cisco went to the Celestial Temple with the Prophets, things like that. Because I want to see, did Jake finally join Starfleet to find his father, the new baby that was born? We had a baby with Cassidy Yates. I want to know these things. And technology makes it happen because let's face it.
Yeah.
If we didn't have technology like the streaming services and things like that, they wouldn't take chances because they're like, oh, it's not making money. But now with all these things, they're taking chances. So,
We do like that. You're right, because the next generation, they had a movie after movie after movie where Deep Space Nine died, and then it's just there was no conclusion. I mean, there was kind of a conclusion, but there was no next step. What happened? We want to know what happened. Oh, I'm with you.
Yeah.
They need to follow up with that one.
Yeah,
please.
see,
I will watch it.
See what Jason said, he was a Trekkie. I was like, yeah, we're going back to that. And some of y'all know me. I love Trekkie. I love science fiction. I even love Star Wars and all that other stuff too. So that's a whole new story. Are we going to find out who Rey's parents really are? Was Kylo Ren just throwing shade at her, saying that she didn't have was he hating? But we're going to find out about that too. But Jason, being here with Orbic and everything, and being here at CES, is there any new innovation that you guys are maybe debuting or maybe talking about, or just getting a lot of input out there from end users?
Yeah, so we've been around for about 5 years now, and we launched our first 3D camera, the Astra series, and it's a great camera, but it's about the size of this box. It's this big. And so, as you know, with technology, it has to get smaller and more powerful. And so we launched our new camera series. This is the Astra Embedded S. And so the other camera was about this big. It's this big, about the size of a AA battery, I tell people. And it is twice as powerful as the big camera. So it's a wonderful depth sensor, and we call it embedded for a reason. You can embed it in anything. Robotics are huge with this. You're going to see this in a lot of robotics in the future. You're going to see it in smart home technology. Your doorbell ringer is going to have a 3D camera in the future, so it can tell who you are, let you into the house without needing a key. No more keys. Your car doesn't have a key really anymore. You don't turn it on with a key like you used to, so you're not going to need a key to get in your house in the future. That's old technology. So a 3D camera sensor is just like that. So that's one of the newest cameras we're launching. We're also at our booth, we have the newest Android cell phone, and I don't have it with me on my person, but the Oppo Find X has a 3D camera, and it's the first Android 3D camera on the market. Very similar to the Apple 10. If you know the Apple device, that's a 3D camera. And so we have one in the first of its kind in the Android type device, and you can use it to unlock your phone. You can use it for 3D scanning. It's a million times more secure than just that fingerprint scan. So that's the future. Face ID is you'll probably see it a lot around here because it's just so much more secure than anything else we have right now.
And that is so true with biometrics and when it comes to cybersecurity and the security measures and everything, we're becoming like the password, right? So it's
well, how many passwords do you have? Can you remember them all?
Man, that's why I got LastPass. You know what I mean? Because I got so many passwords, man. I had to go and get another password thing. So it's like really ridiculous when you see things going. And when it comes to robotics too, and it's something I forgot to bring up, and I know some of my followers and friends out there are going to say, why you didn't talk about this? Is how robotics is going to help the physically challenged community like myself. And just where we're at when it comes to testing out these things, how do you know as a company know when it's time to go to the next level and say, hey, let's go help out this community and see if this helps? Or when you put something together, you're like, how this helps out the entire community, and let's not leave out ones who are disabled.
Oh, yeah. I mean, robotics have huge. There's so many applications for people with disabilities, and I know there's robots out there that help pick people up even and move them from bed to bed. That's a big industry in China. I mean, not in China, in Japan, because they have an elderly population where there's not as many young people that can help and throw out their back all the time helping people I used to work in the senior living community, and it's a huge industry, and you don't want to have people strenuously hurting themselves all the time with that kind of stuff. That's where robotics can come in, not replace people, but come in and be that extra tool, that fulcrum that you can use to help out the other industries. We have a robot in our booth. And like I said, it's a picking robot, but these robots can be used for everything. You use the camera to navigate through the halls without running into somebody, And the best thing I like to always point out about these robots, people always worried about, not these robots, these cameras, is privacy. Privacy is huge, and it's just getting more difficult as we go forward. Cameras are on every street corner. I mean, I'm from Detroit, and they put cameras up everywhere, and people are so nervous of where these different cameras are going to be, where their pictures are going to be. But with a depth sensing camera, you don't need to take a picture of someone's face. You're just taking their depth image, the depth visual. So you can do it in a secure way, letting people in without going into their privacy and making them feel uncomfortable. You can say, this isn't taking a picture of you, just your body, your outline, basically.
I love it. I love it. Well, you know what, Jason? I don't mind anybody looking at all the sexiness I have. so it's all good. But I want to tell you, if you guys ever want to do some product testing on somebody who's really heavy and see if a robot can pick me up, please holler at me, because if it can pick me up, it can pick anybody up. So that's all that I'm saying. So Jason, if one's like to find out more information about Orbic and following what you guys are doing, how can they go about doing that?
Well, I would definitely visit our website, orbic3d.com. And if anybody's in CES, we're at the South Hall in room 2, booth 21416. We have 8 great demos from HP, Sony Music, Bosch. They all have different demos in our booth highlighting what our cameras can do for them.
Awesome. Well, Jason, great talking with you, and great talking trekkiness with you. So we got to hook up again. We got to make sure we share some stories. If they have a Deep Space Nine drop where Cisco continues his story and things like that. But you know what, man? It hurt my heart when Dax died, man. You know, Garcia died, you know, but we'll talk about that another day, okay, my friend?
That's the next episode.
Take care, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'd like to thank Jason Bauer for joining me, talking about that great innovation with that 3D camera. And we talked Star Trek, too. That was pretty cool, wasn't it? So you Trekkies out there, get in on the conversation. We want to know what you feel about Deep Space Nine, Voyager. See, he and I are on the same level, because that was Deep Space Nine. That was my favorite one. I really liked the Prophets and Cisco and Dax and all that other great stuff. But hey, his company, OBEC, is doing some great things when it comes to 3D cameras. So check them out. Check me out tomorrow. We'll be back here live on the floor here at CTA. CES 2019. CTA is the company that puts it on. See, I didn't mess up. You guys waiting for me to mess up. See, y'all on Twitter. Y'all ain't no joke. See, you thought I was going to mess up. See, but I didn't. CTA is the company that puts on CES. Quit trolling me, all right? All right. Until tomorrow, guys, take care of yourself. Huge shout out to my man, Brett Malik, keeping all the trains going on time at the station. Thank you, Brett. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow.
In this world of technology, things are ever changing, rearranging. You need someone to help you out. I know someone who can. Come and take a journey with me as we go through the land of technology. You'll never be alone. You'll be with Paul Amadeus Lane in the tech zone.